Thank you, Jaroslav, for the introduction. Hello, everyone. I do not think it's too overstated that we are living in a tech revolution. Someone said that technology is the new oil, and it seems to me that this is quite an accurate comparison. At Clifford Chance, we believe that if you want to be a truly global leading law firm and want to provide real value for clients, you must be at the forefront of these changes we are seeing. That's why we created the cross-border, cross-sector practice called CC Tech Group, of which I'm a proud and a keen member for a few years now. However, it's not sufficient to be the best, to be able to provide the best advice on complex and transformative legal matters. To provide the greatest possible value for clients, we think law firms must constantly be able to improve the way they operate, including the use of technology and constant innovation. In the next 15 minutes or so, I will discuss with my colleague April Brousseau what are the key considerations for the development of an innovation strategy and how we approach it at Clifford Chance. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet April. Hi, April.
Hi.
April is the global lead of CC Create and Innovation, which is an ecosystem where clients, leading thinkers, and our own legal and technology teams come together to share, develop new ideas that will shape the legal sector. April is an experienced lawyer who dedicated many of her years in the career for transformation on global law firms through roles in innovation, technology, business change, risk, and knowledge. Disruption and technology in the legal industry is not only her job, it's her passion as well. April, I'll start with the first question. Do firms actually really need their own strategy for innovation? Can they just buy what they see on the market as the latest available technology or copy their peers when they see something works really well? What do you think?
I think it's a really good question and one that not enough people consider. So I often in my roles hear things like, just do it. I want to buy it. I just want to do it. And when you end up with sort of a scattergun approach to innovation, you also end up often disappointing your stakeholders and losing any goodwill that you might have had. So all of the people who work in this industry, I'm sure, will have heard the what is your job anyways? Like, what does it mean to innovate? And I think to keep people on side, they need to know what you're doing and they need to believe in it. And on that basis, you really need to start with what does your company believe in? So your innovation strategy is critical because it needs to be tied back to the business's objectives. Innovation for the sake of innovation or for marketing that you're innovative doesn't take you very far. It might get you lots of likes on LinkedIn, but if it doesn't deliver real value to your own business, then you will lose your stakeholder support and investment. So at Clifford Chance, we've been quite careful in planning our strategy around innovation. We started really clearly with a single strand. We now have 3, and we tie each of our strands back to the business's vision. So the business's vision is to be the law firm of the future for the clients of the future. And we started originally with a program that we called Best Delivery. And what it did was we listened to clients and we understood that what they wanted was to see efficiency and value to them. So we developed the Best Delivery program and we did it incrementally. The Best Delivery program looks at process improvement, change management, project management. It takes a client's transaction and it makes sure that we're doing it in the best possible way, using the best possible resources. That was very successful, and I can say this as I haven't been at Clifford Chance actually that long. I have been at a number of other firms. I can say that I have never seen actually a program as well executed as the Clifford Chance Best Delivery program, and that again comes down to the fact that it was strategically planned. It wasn't just launched, it was considered, it was linked back to specific measurable objectives that added value to the business and to the clients. During the last few years, we've also heard from clients, and I actually have heard it here this morning, that actually what they want their law firm to provide as well is actual digital solutions. So they no longer want to receive information just in spreadsheets. Instead, they actually want us to be providing them with tools that are digital that solve real world problems that they have. So to that end, we expanded our strategy, and in 2018, we launched Clifford Chance Applied Solutions. And that is a separate entity that focuses on building scaled digital solutions that answer real problems that many clients share. So it's not bespoke. They are problems that we solve for many clients. A good example, and one of the best examples I've seen at a law firm, is actually our cross-border publisher product. So we regularly hear from clients that they need a review of a particular type of law across many jurisdictions. And lawyers typically provide that to them in an Excel spreadsheet or a Word document. And clients were saying to us, but we can't interact with that information. We can't search it. We can't compare. And so Clifford Chance Applied Solutions took this problem on, and they released a product which we call Cross-Border Publisher. Currently, the topic available that we focused on first is data protection. And what it does is it allows clients to access information about data protection regulations across multiple jurisdictions that they can see and search and compare. And so again, we're tying back the activities of our innovation program to real problems and real objectives that are part of a strategy. The third part of the strategy is create, which is the function that I lead. So create is something that's a little bit harder to explain actually, because it's more like an umbrella function. It coordinates the activities between best delivery and applied solutions to make sure that they're not doing things right, but that they're doing the right things with the right resources. So always bringing it back to the strategy and the objectives. But the firm has also acknowledged that there needs to be something more, that we need to be looking to the future, to disruption. And so to that end, if I was to sort of say best delivery is about incremental innovation, incremental improvement, create is about disruptive change and trying to spot emerging technology, emerging trends, things like the pandemic, which ultimately affect how we deliver legal services. So what we do is we really look at what will the future of legal services deliver and how can we proactively engage in that. But all three of these strands are always every day tied back to the strategy. So when someone comes and says, I have an idea, I say, okay, how does that align to our business's objectives? Which practice group will this serve? What clients will this serve? And it's always asking the why question that I think is critical to being able to demonstrate a valid innovation program.
Okay, thank you. You actually already answered my second question. How does one start building innovation strategy? What are the do's and don'ts? So I just move directly to our to my last questions. So if you should focus on what do you consider to be really the key consideration for executing that innovation strategy that every firm should keep in mind? You know, what are the few key considerations you would highlight?
Sorry, I jumped the question. I think one of the key things is to build relationships. And as someone who started at Clifford Chance during lockdown, I really appreciate the importance of relationships and building them. To have people invested in your innovation program, they need to understand what it is that you're doing and they need to believe in it. And so you need to understand what their pain points are and what problems solved. And they have to have faith in you. They have to be able to understand what it is you're trying to achieve and believe that you're trying to achieve things for their benefit. Because innovation programs are never going to be really well-resourced. They're always going to be tight teams. They're always going to be lean teams because the firm isn't going to invest in hundreds and hundreds of people to do this kind of work. So you have to actually have those sponsors and those champions in the business. There's something to be said about when you solve one person's problem, they will become a champion the likes of which you could never champion yourself, because they will tell their clients, they will tell their colleagues that we actually know what we're doing. We understand innovation and we are solving real problems. So you have to have those people on side and keep them on side. And one way to do that is to be really transparent. And so I do emphasize this a lot. Innovation often happens in a bit of a black box. So it's why people ask us, what is your job anyways? Like, what do you do? Because it's easy for us to get caught up in developing new solutions, talking to clients, but you have to keep that work really transparent, and not only your successes, but you need to also expose your failures and the lessons that you learn from those things. It's the old adage to fail fast, but to fail well, and learn from your mistakes, but be really transparent to people about what it is you're doing, where you're seeing problems, where you're solving those problems, and where you need some help. And then I think the third thing, which is also really important, is to be realistic. So people who work with me know that I assess all of our problems when they come in by criteria, which I call DVF: desirability, viability, and feasibility. Desirability is about who wants the solution. Viability is about how does it align to our strategy. And feasibility is being objective and looking at, can we solve this problem? Is this something that we're actually capable of doing? And should we be doing it? I mean, we are a law firm. We're not a tech startup. You know, we are not a Thomson Reuters. We are a law firm, and we have expertise, and we should leverage that expertise, but also seek out partnerships with people who have other expertise. It's not for us to solve every problem, but it is for us to look at every problem. If you take on something that's too big and you try to solve it, you will fail. So it's important to be really, really objective and understand what you can and what you can't do.
Okay, thank you very much. We are slowly running out of time, so we don't have too much time to give a lot of practical examples of the best delivery strategy, what does encompass, what are the elements, or examples of Clifford Chance Create. But maybe in the last 2 minutes and a half, I leave it up to you if you could select one practical example of either a best delivery outcome or a Clifford Chance Create project that you would like to highlight and mention, so that we have some practical example.
I actually have one kind of ties two of those together, and it happened during the COVID crisis. Actually, at the beginning, there was a global legal hackathon that we became involved in through one of our external partnerships. So we engage really closely with Barclays Eagle Labs that focuses on startups in legal tech. And working together with them and some of our other colleagues in other firms, there was a global legal hackathon. And our best delivery team, combined with our legal technology team and our lawyers, participated in that to get e-signatures across the line in terms of their acceptability, identifying the challenges that clients face and accepting them, and really taking those problems, breaking them apart and solving them one by one as a collective.
Okay, thank you. Nice example.